Text, rewind. 7 decades of stories from Leonard, Cheshire. Disability Heritage Lottery Fund. Logo: an animated hand with wide eyes, a broad smile and 2 fingers crossed. Maybe Today, 1973. Distributed by Concord Films Council Limited, a registered educational charity, Ipswich, Suffolk. Lee Court Film Unit presents a musical documentary about the dreams, hopes, fears and difficulties of disabled people. It shows how a community overcame these difficulties and raised the money to build a new wing on their home to provide privacy, freedom and a room of their own. A person walks down a corridor. Text, Maybe Today. A man, asleep in bed, a small plane in a cloudless sky, a young man in a helmet. Lettering says G.P. Rain. 3 skydivers leap from the plane in succession, a parachutist glides downwards, a man opens curtains next to a railed bed. The man in the bed turns towards the light. Bulldozers shovel dirt.
Another day begins, the world it awakens, this private world that I must call my home. In this different world, a different kind of family, related by misfortune, together yet alone.
2 people lift the man into a wheelchair. A cement mixer spins. A man lifts another man from the railed bed to a wheelchair. A bulldozer reverses in the mud.
Around this prison, no iron bars to show it is a jail. But who is free, who cannot move unaided? Alice is a prison if you cannot walk away. But last night I had a dream. I dreamed that I was free. I could choose to follow any road, to go wherever pleased me.
A man slowly wheels himself down a corridor. Another man, in a white jacket, takes over. They enter an old-fashioned lift with manual doors. The man sits in a busy dining room. A woman holds a straw to his mouth.
54 of us get up, have to be helped to get up, to face the day like this, every morning here at Lee Court, Cheshire home. Breakfast is a community experience, but it's more. It's work. Hard work for us who are disabled, hard work for those who help us. Some of us have never known home life in the way most people do. Others remember a life that was so much easier.
Drinking tea through a tube.
Home should be a chance to choose quiet and intimate moments. But for us, intrusions and complex routines are vital to our need for active life.
A man is spoon-fed.
Charlie Horton had a close family life, and of course they keep in touch. But for 17 years, he's had to learn to cope and live with us. He shares a lot with Roger, like their room with 2 others. 4 of them, together because of disability, but so different.
A man operates a typewriter with his mouth by blowing through metal piping.
Many different people, many different talents, and ingenious ways devised for residents like David Martin, writing the lyrics for a song.
Another man holds a guitar.
We could start our story here. David and Michael, a helper, are planning a charity concert.
Well, that's it, Mike.
Mike strums the guitar and sings.
When you were a soldier, Daddy, did you march watch with your heads held high, while your buttons bright and your bells pulled tight, and your uniform gay.
The concert was held, money was made.
I slouched with a twisting neck, honey, and I also sagged at the knees. My buttons were black and my belt was slack, and my shirt had to blend with the trees.
A woman pushes a man in a wheelchair along a road. They both wear pink vests that say, "Please give us a lift."
Another resident, another way to raise funds. And all for a very special
A
campaign.
driver stops.
Did you fight a war for a flag, Daddy? The country or for the Queen? Or did you fight for democracy and...
They drive off, wheelchair in boot.
One day we got together and asked for single rooms, our urgent need for privacy. This meant enterprise, effort and ideas. What could we do to find money to build a brand new wing?
Donation tin for Lee Court, Cheshire home.
Brian's hitchhike, Edinburgh to Petersfield, was one answer. Collection boxes in pubs were easier. When the plans were made, £62,000 was needed.
A meeting room.
A huge challenge.
We now pass to the next item on the agenda, and that is Flag Days.
The Lee Court Association and the residents faced it. The campaign for the new wing became a massive operation. Our annual fete played its part and was opened by Group Captain Cheshire.
Being here today in these grounds brings back many, many memories to me. It was nearly 25 years ago that Lee Court first started with a very shaky start,
Stall at feet.
and now you are embarking on a major new project. I would like to pay my tribute particularly to the residents, because this new wing is their idea. They have provided the inspiration and the work and the drive that has made it possible.
Brian's companion, in pink vest, sticks out her thumb as she pushes Brian's wheelchair along a road. A young man helps lift Brian from car to wheelchair. An older man shuts the door of another car. Brian's companion puts the folded wheelchair in the car. Tires turn. A woman reverses her car. Brian is in the front passenger seat. His companion sits in the back. The car pulls away from a Texaco service station. A grey-haired man in glasses talks on a telephone.
Hello, Brian? Where are you? Good. Right, I'll put you on the map.
The man sticks a pin in a wall-mounted map. Brian in the passenger seat of another car, traveling down a highway. A white car drives down a tree-lined country road.
I see people on wheels, those wheels are spinning fast. Sometimes hard, sometimes easy, trying to the last. People living on spinning wheels that carry them along.
Busy road. Road sign reads, Petersfield, Portsmouth, A3. A man in a suit, wearing a gold medallion, fronts a crowd and checks his watch.
So tired as they might seem to be. Chair only holds the body, the mind is always free. People living on spinning wheels that carry them along. Never stopping, always rolling on.
Brian arrives in a black car.
This was a big program. Our efforts took time. 2.5 years, in fact. But in those 2.5 years, inflation entered the race. Costs soared and nearly defeated us.
Hello, Brian. Welcome back to Petersfield. Have you had a good trip from Edinburgh?
indeed, we have.
Setting an engraved foundation stone.
Suddenly, just as the dream so nearly changed to reality, and we began to see ourselves, each in a room of his own, the money ran out.
A cement mixer and a digger on a mound of earth. A woman in a wheelchair rolls herself towards a balcony overlooking a construction site.
the only possible solution seemed to be a drastic cutting back. 18 single rooms instead of 24. No lift. Fewer bathrooms and toilets.
A check presentation.
Even to manage this revised plan, we still needed luck.
Congratulations, Mr. Grimes, on the first £500,000 dividend ever paid on the pool in the United States.
Mr. Grimes, our accountant, gave us a cheque which enabled us to continue, but more money still was needed. Many projects were started, both large and small, by residents and friends, and the whole campaign was underway again. Under the chairmanship of Miss Iris Chant, the building committee went into the detailed planning stage. Adjustable vanity units, purpose-designed light switches, intercom, powered hoists.
Construction in progress. Wheelbarrows, scaffolding and bricklayers.
Because we were living on the actual site, we had one unique advantage. We were able to discuss structural and functional points with the architect and foreman. Were the fixtures at the right height? The step height for wheelchairs, another problem.
Painters and plasterers at work.
All the residents we've met now have rooms of their own, because they, with the help of their friends, were able to make something happen.
Ribbon cutting.
This new wing is not the end of an endeavour, but the beginning of many more to come, not just here at Lee Court, but through Lee Court to inspire others in other places to build their own homes and to develop their own ideas and hopes.
A man is moved in a hoist above a bed.
Sometimes we thought we'd never make it. Sometimes the end looked far away. But we kept trying, our friends kept helping. We made something happen today.
A parachutist lands heavily, at speed.
Maybe today everyone will be happy. Maybe our troubles will all fade away. Maybe
Text, songs composed by David Martin and Michael Cairns.
maybe
Performed by Scarlett Lace. Commentator, Frank Henning. Director, Monica Mazza. Written and produced by Brian Line, Royal College of Art, 1973. The Lee Court Film Unit would like to thank all those whose help and generosity made this film possible. Leonard Cheshire Disability, supported by the National Lottery, through the Heritage Lottery Fund.